Hey Leo, thanks for joining me. This is a reading for mid-Cancer for you, and I think we're just gonna jump right in. I've scribbled down a few notes about the astrology, what's going on. So Jupiter is in your sign since the 30th of June, and now I'm recording this on the 7th. So for a week now, Jupiter has been in your sign. Um, And I think I'm gonna put it here. That is the Knight of Wands. It's the Edmund Luck deck that I'm using. We have some cards flipping, but I'm not gonna take them. So the Knight of Wands is Sagittarius, but it's also just a card that wants us to just go out there and do stuff and wander around, having fun, exploring things, all the good stuff. Yeah, it's a card of where it describes an energy of good mood, hanging out with friends, or well, it can also be alone. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune. Just trying to figure out where to put it so you can see the cards. The Wheel of Fortune, which is actually like a scene depicting two people at a spinning wheel. These are way too many cards, seriously, guys. I have now one card on my lap and two cards on my lap. One to my right and one to my left. These are too many. I just wanted one card. It's the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Cups with the King of Cups and the Eight of Wands. So it is information, travel overseas, or I would say information about emotions. So it's always good to be in contact with one's emotions. Um, so that is a thing. But that did not feel right. Like, I just need one card, and I kept on shuffling, although I had two. So we're gonna note it that this happened, like emotions kind of showing themselves, so to speak, but not really, they're not a central, thank you, message of the reading, of this reading. Eight of Swords. Well, there we go. Um, At the bottom right now, we have the Judgment card. I think this is so beautiful. Sorry. This is so beautiful. Look, like, it's very in tune with my background. Very much in tune. Where am I gonna put this? Right here. The other way around, so you can see it. Yeah, I'm turning the cards upside down, so I hope that you can see them. Um, So we have the wheel turning for you when it comes to the fun in your life. The Wheel of Fortune, the card also describes Jupiter or is associated with Jupiter. Jupiter is the great benefic in astrology or in ancient Hellenistic astrology, really. Um, It is also associated with dancing, I want to add. And this very much ties into like the message of the Knight of Wands, just having fun in life, just dancing around, not taking things too seriously, and just having a good time. And I want to say that this is actually a difficult topic, I think. Because either you're on the side of people who I mean, everyone has like their fair share of hardships. Like no one in this world gets through life without any kind of hiccup whatsoever. I'm very aware of that. But there are people out there like who shy away from really hard lessons in life, who do not do the inner work, who do not do shadow work, who do not face their own demons because it's just too hard for them, or they have just decided to not do it for whatever reason. I also don't want to really judge people here, but that's just usually what it looks like to me. It's just too hard for them, or it's just too much work, or they can't be bothered. They're not interested to see themselves for really like who they really are on the inside. And often what we find is not pretty. Like I have my two pointer stones here, and it's no coincidence that they're black and white because it's just the two sides of ourselves that we always have to deal with. And if you always just favor one side, the shiny, let's say the white one is the shiny one, although you can argue that it's the other way around. But that's not the point. If you just focus on one side, and it doesn't really matter which one really, but usually people you focus on the positive side, on the easy side of things, you're not gonna get much out of life. So, and my kind of work that I've done is usually I'm attracting people who have done a lot of shadow work already, who are at least aware of some level that there is a lot of work to be done and that we should not shy away from that. So having like this in mind, that this reading or these readings in general on my channel are for people who actually have a lot of not so pretty things in their lives. It sometimes can feel very hard to really find genuine fun in everyday life, in everyday situations. That just like little dance while doing the dishes, or just not giving whatever, walking down the street, not feeling too pretty to whatever, to yeah, whatever, and not letting that stop oneself from having a good time anyway. Like I'm well, maybe this is my disposition. My way of living is often I just tend to dance a little bit. I should do this more often, and I hardly ever do it in public because I feel so like I'm like drawing in attention that I don't want to have. But then again, it's just my normal way of conducting myself, and I'm actually in the process of learning how like even to allow it in when in private, like when I'm alone. But I think the goal is here really to show that also in presence of other people, friends, family, but also strangers that I've never met before, and even people that I know are not going to be too happy about me just freely expressing myself. Um, and there the Eight of Swords comes in. Like it's this feeling of I know that I'm doing something important here. I have already had a lot of thoughts and emotions about what I need to do. Like it's the Eight of Swords. It's not like the two or three or the four. Um, so we've already come quite a long way. But um, it still needs a lot of work. The Eight says that there's still a lot of work to be done around the subject. And I think now that I've already touched upon it, that emotions are very important because we had this kind of like emotional eruption there, and that's really the consequence, I think, of us ignoring is not really the right word, but kind of trying to sidestep the expression and a genuine on the spot live expression of our emotions, because that helps us to process the emotion and just letting them go again, because thoughts and emotions are really there to flow. They're really there to flow through us and not get stuck within us. That's why I think shadow work is so important, because it cleans us up inside. It just like shows us where the ugliness is, but the ugliness is really like knots and pent up whatever energy that keeps like that prevents this free flow of energy within us. So and then I should also add that I think thoughts and emotions are really the same thing in a way. Um, they just they're using different vehicles within ourselves in order to get the message across, but they have the same message in essence. So that's like my working hypothesis, so to speak, that I work with every day, that my thoughts and my emotions need to be in alignment. Otherwise, I will have my thoughts and emotions are going to be all over the place if they're not in tune with each other, because they're supposed to deliver the same message just in two different kinds of ways. Okay, let's clarify. I actually pre-shuffled this, so there's not really a need to shuffle more. What can I see about this Knight of Wands? What else can we see here? What else can we see? Okay, two cards. Two cards. Alright. The High Priestess and the Two of Wands. Let me see. I need to move in this direction, the other way. Okay. This kind of works-ish, I think. Yeah. Pretty enough. Yeah, Two of Wands is the beginning of the zodiac. Of course, there's more than one beginning of the zodiac, but arguably Mars does play a lot of like a very important role in our world, and it is our will, our motivation, our oomph, spark, the first thing. And the Two of Wands represents the first decan of Aries, so it is literally the first card in um, um, the like decan order, like going around the zodiac circle. Um, and it represents Mars and Aries, or Mars in Aries. And the High Priestess is obviously a very intuitive card. And I want to say it represents beginnings here as well, because the two pillars on the High Priestess, yep, on the High Priestess card, kind of, oops, now one is upside down. Mimic or copy the Two of Wands in the other card. So it feels like a new beginning of intuition and sparkiness, like just going with it, not thinking too much. It's just like, let's just go. Let's just do it, not think about it too much. But thinking about it too much. Let me clarify the Wheel of Fortune and then the Eight of Swords to see where our where your thoughts are at, or our thoughts. I have strong Leo energy within me as well, so I kind of resonate with this reading as well. Um, so Wheel of Fortune, Wheel of Fortune. What can we see? Ooh, almost, but not quite. The Page of Wands kind of showed itself, but not quite. The Wheel of Fortune. What can we see? Ten of Wands showing its face, but only flipping around. Okay, Jupiter. You have nothing else? Okay, then I'm going to the Eight of Swords. Fine. Maybe I'll come back to it later. Did not want to talk to me right now. Eight of Swords, which is fine. Like, you don't have to talk to me. I'm gonna talk to you though if I want to. You can't prevent me from doing that. Eight of Swords. Yay, we have a winner. Two of Cups. Yeah, you can see that. Two of Cups, which is the first decan of Cancer. We have another beginning because that is the other major point that I see where the zodiac can start, like depending on one's view. Okay, Two of Cups, the Hermit, and the Four of Pentacles. This tells me that there is like the need to go within to find one's directions. Like literally almost. The Hermit is a card where we go inside, where we hermit away, so to speak, and trust our own guidance. Like this guy is very much focused on the star and the lantern. He does not, like, even the background is bleak. Usually these cards have some kind of stuff going on in the background. I mean, look at the craziness of the background of the High Priestess here. There's nothing going on in the Hermit card, really. And why would there? Because the guy is not looking at anything around him anyway. He only looks at the star within the guiding light that he has in his heart. And I think what he finds there is the Four of Pentacles. Now, this is traditionally been called like the Miser card, but I'm not really happy with that. I see it as a card that talks more about um, the four directions, like the wind directions, or like the natal chart with the ascendant, and the what is it, MCIC, and it is us finding inner, or in this case, inner alignment. Like generally, the Four of Pentacles doesn't necessarily mean inner alignment, but any alignment or stability, like stability that we're finding within ourselves. And then we have now this other beginning of the zodiac, the Two of Cups, and the reason um, why there is another beginning with Cancer season, which we also just recently started. I mean, the Sun is now the second decan of um, of Cancer. Actually, I think in 16 of Cancer, the 16th degree of Cancer. So right in the middle, exactly right in the middle today that I'm recording this. Um, and the reason for, I think it's Hellenistic astrologers, that they consider, considered, at least in the past, like way back 2,000 years back, that this is the starting point, is that it marks the beginning of the moon season, so to speak, because Cancer is ruled by the moon, and it's followed by Leo, the sun season. And the sun obviously is, in a way, the more important planet. I mean, I'm talking to a Leo, you know what I mean. I mean, Leos are leaders and they do have a lot of light and they do get attention for a very good reason. Um, but the sun can also overwhelm us. It can be too much. We can be too much. Leos can be too much. Um, and there the moon comes in. The moon always translates. The moon projects. The moon kind of wiggles its way through where the sun would just like blast through it. But this is not always the right approach. And the ancient astrologers thought with the coinciding summer solstice, at least in the northern hemisphere, this is the starting point of the zodiac, of the Thema Mundi, they called it, which is like a story of how the planets came into being or how they got to have the characteristics that they have. So it is a new way of thinking. It is a new way of doing things for you. The new way of doing things is just like just do it. Um, Not that there are no thoughts or emotions involved, but even the emotions and the thoughts have a new beginning. It's not quite as poignant, is that the word? Like as emphasized as with just doing it, but maybe the thoughts and emotions are just gonna follow foot once you have made the first steps into your new you that has just decided to do things differently, and then your mental body and your emotional body is just gonna follow your actual physical body, so to speak. Yeah. Okay. So, what can we see about Jupiter, about this Wheel of Fortune here? Okay, I got one card. Oh, I got one card. Oh, we have the moon. I've already talked about the moon. That's funny. I need another card. Because I could. Okay. Okay. Now, so many cards fell to the floor. What is this? I wanted to say when these many cards came out that I could say so many things about the moon, but I'm not because it could be anything, and then that all came out. But I don't think this would serve the purpose here because this is not gonna be a treatise on the moon, like a lecture. I have no intention of doing that here. Okay, what else can we see about this moon clarifying the Wheel of Fortune? What is so, and we have the sun flipping, but not popping out, and if it wants to pop out, it'll pop out later. What else can we see here? What else can we see here? I'm getting some intuitive hits, but I want to see a card. I want to see a card. The Hangman. Only flipping around. Only showing its face. The Ace of Swords. What is this game, huh? Which card wants to come out with such suspense? What is it gonna be? And the Star, the Hierophant. So many major arcana showing themselves. This is crazy. Okay, there we go. And we have the Judgment card. Seriously, the Judgment card again. This is crazy. Okay. So outer forces are at work. Outer forces, because that many major arcana cards, like even if they didn't like all show them, we have a lot of major arcana on the table as well. So, yeah. By the way, there's you, King of Wands. Pretty Leo. Um, I got the intuitive hit like reflection. Like the moon is obviously well, science says the moon is reflecting the sun's light. I am a scientist, but I do have um alternative thoughts about just about anything by now. Not because I am a very critical person, or what is the word? Because I just don't believe stuff. I do. I'm just normal when it comes to that. I'm just a burnt child. I've been told too many lies, so I've become a bit jaded or something. So I don't always, I just, I just don't always believe what I, what I'm being told. So, maybe the moon is reflecting the sun's light, or maybe it's not. I don't really know. Um, yeah, judgment. Like, what is your judgment? Your judgment matters. What you make out of a situation. Three of Swords. Yeah, that pretty much describes the pain that I associate with the situation that I just described with being a burnt child. I've been here, I've done that, or something similar really, and it has taught me to have reservations. Is this new start, this new thing that I'm doing really, really, really the thing that I'm supposed to do, that it's gonna work out? And of course, no one can really tell me, even not I can, and I can always just do my best. But it is really dealing with this, I guess, with this, what's the word? Uh, it's not insecurity, it is when you don't know what is gonna happen, what is gonna happen. There's this word that I can't remember. Um, Uncertainty. Oh, yes. That was hard. For some reason, that was hard. Um, yeah, uncertainty about which way is it gonna go? Is it gonna work out? Is it not gonna work out? Is it gonna be a bit of that and a bit of that, like a mixed bag? So usually it's a mixed bag, right? Some things work out, some others don't, and then we need to like adjust something, but we are allowed to move forward in some kind of way or some kind of area, and others we need to adjust, like I said. Um, yeah, okay. So that is the situation, I would say. And now I would like to draw from another deck. Interesting. Is the this card's on the wrong way around. Um, draw some advice from another deck, and I'm just have all my cards here in front of me, and I'm trying to pick the right deck. There we go. I'm just gonna quickly shuffle these cards. This card stock is a bit tough. It's a bit thicker, so it's always a bit harder to shuffle, but I can manage. Okay. They're beautiful cards, so it's worth it. Okay, some advice for this situation here for Leo about this new beginning, just doing things differently, and then the mind is gonna follow foot, and the emotions are gonna follow foot, and a little bit of an uncertain situation here. One card, please. Please, please, and thank you. One card. I'm not gonna even look. Queen of Wands and Strength. So Aries and Leo, in a way, showing themselves, but they didn't commit. They didn't commit. There we go. We have a committer. Ace of Wands, seriously. Just freaking do it. Okay, just do it. Don't think about it. Seriously, that's the best advice ever. Okay. And we have the Fool. We have the Fool and the Seven of Pentacles. Ah, the Seven of Pentacles. Interesting. Well, the Fool is also saying, just do it. Don't think about it. Nine of Cups at the bottom. Where am I gonna put this? Right here. Here. Right. Yeah. Seven of Pentacles. Um. It is getting gifts from. It's like a card that traditionally depicts like a guy not really being happy with what he has planted, like seeds, like a plant that he's growing and has tended to. Um, and it can be like it's my card of like unusual gifts. Like you might not get what you plan on getting, like by this time, by doing these things. It might feel like the universe, so to speak, has changed goalposts on you, even like when it's a bit like deviating quite a lot from where you thought you would be at this point in time. Um, but it can also be a card where you're just supposed to sit down and not do anything really, or like not like literally sitting down and not doing anything, but where you just appreciate that a plant is just growing and that the harvest is not ready yet, and that it was just on you to maybe like learning that to make a better plan next time so that you um, schedule in a way, leave room for things just needing space to wiggle around and time to develop. Like we always like many people struggle with this. Like usually we think it's just gonna go way smoother than it actually usually does. And the problem or the cause for that, I think, is that we do not anticipate as much pushback as we should in a way. Like should is not a good word. Um, like have to and supposed to. These are almost bad words in my vocabulary, but sometimes I need to use them in order to show where we need to grow. Um, and because the reason why we think um, things should go smoother is an avoidance of tricky stuff. So we think that we won't um, that we're not going to be met with as much resistance, as many problems as we think we deserve in a way, you could say. So we should like we come from this place where we think we should have much smoother sailing than what we actually need in order to grow into the being that we need to be in order for this task to be accomplished or finished or whatever. Um, so the advice is basically just do the thing. Be aware that it'll take you longer than you think, And the uncertainty you just need to hold. You just need to stay in that place, holding that uncertainty and not being like able to do anything about it, not solving the situation by it going away, the suck going away. The suck will not go away. You can avoid it. You can circumvent it. You can, well, quit. Or because you think you're doing something wrong, but probably you're not doing it wrong. You just don't have the inner capacity yet to hold this um, in a or to hold this in a way that is not excruciating, I guess, or that is not pushing your limits too much. So it is uncomfortable because you are literally like building up your muscles, not your physical muscles, but your energetic muscles. You're building, you're increasing your capacity to hold suck, like difficult things. Um, and this is amazing because being able to just endure suckiness is a very underappreciated skill, I would say, and will come in, or yeah, will definitely come in handy in the future, even more so than it already is very valuable right now, I would say. It's much more valuable even in the future than it is already now, I would say. Um, and the Nine of Cups is at the bottom here. It's this card here, very pretty as well. I love these. I love these. I love the art. Um, it talks about a journey being almost completed and cherishing the good side of things. So despite all the suckiness, just having fun. That's how I started it. Like just dancing, just like appreciating the mood, whatever is there, and not giving a whatever about what other people think. And just doing your thing and appreciating these tiny little gifts that you give yourself almost, or I would say it might feel like you're giving it yourself, but it's really your micro environment that gives you like micro gifts or something, like this micro feedback. I don't know where micro comes in. I don't know. uh Maybe this makes sense to you. But the small things, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. The very small, appreciating the very small joys in everyday life, and not letting the bigger picture and its uncertainty, and I tried this and it's not working out and I'm doing it again and it's like, what's different this time kind of feeling, like, because the zodiac, I mean, time is a cycle. We do things over and over again. We grow, but oftentimes we also have the feeling, oh well, I've been here before. Have I not? Have I not grown? Sometimes we get these lessons where we like, I've done this. Like, why am I being presented with this again? Um, and then it's a good time to really appreciate the smaller things that are easier to appreciate and just hold the bigger suck, um, with our growing muscles, so to speak. So that's what I have for you right now for mid Cancer season. I hope this helped. Leave maybe a message, a comment, whatever. If you resonated with this, I would really appreciate your feedback of any kind. I'm always curious about what you're going through, like how, like, who am I talking to? What are you going through? Like, in which way did this resonate with you in your life, and this kind of thing? Like, I think it's so cool to to have this because I'm just recording, and you know, I don't get immediate feedback. I can only get it through comments, really. Not counting the likes, really. Um, so because they're just like on off. It's like okay. Um, yeah, so very much appreciated if you reach out to me, and I hope to see you soon again. Bye bye.